So today, we're going to dive into the mind of one of the most important figures in AI, Demis Hassabis. He's the CEO of Google DeepMind. And you have to understand, this guy isn't just building the next chatbot. He's got this massive, decades-long vision for what AI can actually become. Let's get right into it.
And this right here, this quote, gets straight to the heart of his mission. For Hassabis, this is not just a job. Since he was a kid, his goal has been crystal clear. Use AI to unlock the secrets of the universe and, solve humanity's biggest problems. That's the lens you have to look through to understand everything he's building.
And look, this isn't just some pie-in-the-sky dream. The guy has the receipts. He won the Lasker Award, which is basically the American Nobel, for creating AlphaFold. That's an AI that solved the 50-year-old grand challenge of protein folding. It's a breakthrough that's already changing biology and medicine as we speak. So when he talks about the future, you know it's grounded in real, world-changing results. Okay, so now let's get to one of his team's latest and honestly, kind of mind-blowing creations. A new type of AI they're calling Genie. And this is where things really start to feel like they're straight out of science fiction. Genie is what's called a world model. So what on earth does that mean? Well, instead of programmers sitting down and hand-coding all the laws of physics, this AI just watches millions of videos. And from that, it reverse engineers this intuitive grasp of how the world works. How things move, how they bounce off each other, how they behave. It's literally learning physics just by watching. And the result? It's just incredible. You can give Genie a single prompt, a little sketch you drew, a photo, even just a sentence, and bam, it generates a fully interactive, playable 2D world. And the key thing to get here is that nothing is pre-rendered. This isn't a video. The AI is dreaming this entire world up pixel by pixel on the fly as you're moving around in it. This really puts into perspective just how revolutionary Genie is. Think about it. Traditionally, to build a game world, you need armies of programmers coding physics and artists building every single object. Genie, on the other hand, it just learns it. It just watches the world and figures out the rules all by itself. Hassabis, who was actually a game developer himself, called this whole thing mind-blowing. Okay, so this all leads to a pretty obvious question, right? Creating infinite video games from a single sentence is super cool for sure, but what's the real point? Why would you pour so much time and money into an AI that can literally dream? And the answer, in a word, robotics. Think about it. For a robot to be actually useful in our messy, unpredictable world, it can't just be following a pre-written script. It needs to understand the physical world. It needs, a bit of common sense. So that intuitive physics that Genie is learning, that's the key missing piece. And it's not just for walking, talking robots. It's for things like smarter assistants, maybe in a pair of smart glasses, that can actually understand the physical context of what you're looking at. And yeah, it's a huge stepping stone toward the ultimate prize, artificial general intelligence, or AGI. So why humanoid robots, though? Why make them look like us? Well, Hassabis makes a really compelling argument. Sure, you'll always have specialized robots in factories, but for a general-purpose robot that can help out in our homes, in our cities, it just makes sense to build them in our image. We've already designed the entire world, from doorknobs to staircases, for the human body. And this all circles right back to his original goal. These incredible world models and these skilled robots, they're not the end game. They're just the tools. The real prize is using them to accelerate scientific discovery. You have to understand, DeepMind is already throwing AI at some of humanity's toughest problems. They're using it to design brand new materials, to control the super hot plasma inside fusion reactors, to make way more accurate weather forecasts. They're even solving math problems at the international Olympiad level. AlphaFold was really just the beginning. And to kick this mission into high gear, Hassabis actually spun out a whole separate company called Isomorphic Labs. Its one and only purpose is to use AI to completely reimagine how we discover new drugs. The goal? To take a process that currently takes a decade and billions of dollars and shrink it down to just a few weeks, maybe even days. The potential impact here is just staggering. So all of this, the world models, the robots, the scientific breakthroughs, it's all part of the roadmap to what you could call the holy grail of AI research, creating artificial general intelligence. But let's be clear, we are not there yet, and Hassabis is very open about what's still missing. Today's AIs, they lack real creativity, the ability to form a totally new hypothesis, not just prove an old one. They don't have deep reasoning, and they still make these silly high school level mistakes. And a big one, they can't learn new stuff instantly and just keep learning like we can. So how would we even know if we've actually hit AGI? Like, what's the test? Hassabis has this fascinating thought experiment. He says, give an AI all of human knowledge, but only up to the year 1901. Then you sit back and see if it can, all on its own, make that creative leap and discover Einstein's 1905 theory of special relativity. That is the bar for real, creative, scientific intelligence.
Okay, so the big question, when could this actually happen? Now, he's quick to admit that predicting the future of AI is famously hard, but his best guess is that we're somewhere in the ballpark of 5 to 10 years away from a system that could actually pull off these kinds of feats.
And that right there brings us full circle, back to his grand vision. For Hassabis, AGI isn't about replacing humans. It's about building the ultimate tool to augment us, to kickstart a new golden age of discovery, a new renaissance. So the question he's really leaving us with isn't if we can build this thing, but what incredible new truths about our own universe are we going to find when we finally do?